Welcome back. All right, 5 games to talk about. 3 games on this board, 2 games on the other. Keeping in mind it went throughout the day, so I wanted to leave myself extra space in case I needed it. Especially with, and let's just go ahead and jump into the first game, which is between the Rangers and the Chicago Blackhawks. A broadcast which was entertaining in that it was all about how much the Rangers are struggling. Throughout the first period, that's what a lot of the discussion was. And I get it, because this was a team that was 12-4-1, and now they're not. So it's Domingue versus Soderblom. Early power play for Chicago. The Rangers prevent a setup. Nazar has a shot that's held. Power play's killed off. Just that one shot on net for Chicago. Shots lower 3-0 for Chicago at 4.5 minutes. The Rangers press at 5 minutes. But at 5:37, Mikheyev with a nice forecheck to set this up. I was still surprised he didn't get an assist on this. Bertuzzi scores from Bedard at 5:37. It was a great play by Bedard to set that up as well. So Bertuzzi and Bedard building some chemistry. That's good news. It's 1-0 Chicago. Chicago's very good at getting first goals in games. They're not good at the rest of the game, but they're very good at scoring first. Rangers look to respond. Shots are 6-4 New York with 9 minutes left. There's a crossbar for Brodzinski, who was in the lineup because of Kreider being out with an upper body injury. Lafreniere has a slot shot that's saved, and then at 15-12, Brodzinski puts one past the screen from the high slot. Fox and Lindgren with the assist, so it's a 1-1 tie. Teams trade turnovers. Hall fires one wide on a rush, and then on a turnover, Borgen buries a loose puck at 18-21, and suddenly it's 2-1 for the Rangers after the first. Second period, lots of early whistles. Nazar has a net drive chance that's held. Shots are 2-0 Chicago at 3 minutes, but at 3:28, Hedl roofs one from the right circle. Fox and Berard with the assists, so that makes it 3-1 for the Rangers. Hawks press at 6.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. VC has a slot shot that's kicked aside. Craig Smith has a rush chance. That's held. Rangers press at 9 minutes, and at 9:54, on a fast break, Riley Smith scores 5-hole. Zibanejad and Lindgren with the assists. That makes it 4-1. The Hawks look to respond, but at 15-16, Trocheck puts one past, or Trocheck tips it. It went past the screen before Trocheck tips it in. Panarin and Lafreniere with the assist. So at 15-16 of the second period, it is 5-1 for the Rangers. The route is on. The Rangers press for another. There's a near miss for Keandre Miller. Rangers are in control. And then at 18 minutes, Kaiser with a wrister from a distance. He gets his first NHL goal. Nazar and Brody with the assists on that one. So that gets it a little bit closer at 5-2. And again, when a team scores against the Rangers, your thought process becomes, well, they can't lose this lead, right? So we go to the third. Early press by Chicago. Bertuzzi has a rush chance that's saved. The Hawks press at 3 minutes. The teams exchange turnovers. Foligno has a rush that's defended. The Hawks press after. Things are pushy on a hold by Domingue. And then at 8:36, Hedl deflects in a point shot by Keandre Miller. Berard with the other assist. That makes it 6-2 for the Rangers. The Rangers press for another. Kaiser then has a screenshot that's held. Dickinson's denied and close. Nazar has a rush chance that's held. Domingue very good in this game. Everything gets punchy with 13.4 seconds left, so you got to start throwing guys out. I think Maroon wanted to fight towards the end of that game, just didn't have anybody who wanted to fight him. So the final score in this one, 6-2 for the Rangers. They go to 18-20-1 with the win. With the loss, the Chicago Blackhawks 13-25-2. The funny thing is, as this game went along, the conversation went from what's wrong with the Rangers to, oh, right, yeah, Chicago's really bad, so this might not be the game to measure anything on. So, shots on net, 14-6 Rangers in the first, 11-7 Rangers in the second, 14-9 Chicago in the third. Final shots, 34-27 for the Rangers. Power plays, none for the Rangers today. Nope. Chicago only had one, didn't score on it. The hits, 21-17 Rangers. Domingue saves 25 out of 27. Again, he was very good. Soderblom saves 28 out of 34 at the other end. All right, moving along. The Islanders and the Boston Bruins. So we didn't need any 80s magnets today, but it got close in this one. So it's Sorokin versus Korpisalo. The Islanders press at 1.5. The Bruins score, so there's a goalie interference challenge, and the goal counts. Kepke from Kastelik and McAvoy at 3:01, so that makes it 1-0 and gives the Bruins a power play, to which the Islanders say fine. Horvat scores shorthanded from Pajot and Pollock at 3:22. Then as the power play winds down, the Boo Birds are out. The Islanders do finish the kill. Bruins fans not happy. It's 1-1. And then what really didn't make him happy was at 5:33. Pollock has a point shot that deflects into the net. Barzal and Pellick with the assists. Originally, that goal was given to Lee. Turned out he didn't touch it. It wasn't his deflection, so it's 2-1 Islanders. Islanders press for another. They have some momentum. Carlo then has a turnover chance. That's held. Marchand's denied as the Bruins get some pressure, but the shots are 11-7 for the Islanders with 6 minutes left. Wallstrom has a slot shot. That's held. Remember, he was waived by the Islanders and picked up by the Bruins, so yeah, he wanted to get something out of this. He does not get on the score sheet today, though. Bruins press in the final minute, but it stays 2-1 for the Islanders after one. Second period, early press by the Bruins. Lee can't bury one in close. Brazo then has a rush chance that's held. And at 4:11, the Islanders do score. It's Lee from Romanov to make it 3-1. Pajot then has a rush chance that's kicked aside. Shots are 7-4 for the Islanders at 6 minutes. The Islanders press at 9 minutes. And then at 10:16, Brazo buries a one-timer from the slot. Peak with the assist. Makes it a 3-2 score. The Islanders press to respond. There's some near misses there. There's more pressure by the Islanders with 3 minutes left. Pulick with a near miss. The Bruins get pinned down a bit, but they're trailing 3-2 after 2. It could have been worse. Third period, the Bruins press at 2 minutes, but at 3:41, it's turnover. These things are just hurting the Bruins right now. Lee scores from Pulick. That makes it a 4-2 score. And the shots are 3-1 for the Islanders 4.5 minutes in. But at 4:35, the Islanders cough up the puck, so while I'm writing what the shots are, they cough up the puck, and Pastrnak scores from Geekie. So, Bruins get a little closer. Teams trade turnovers. The Bruins press at 9 minutes. At 12:42, Pastrnak buries a net feed on a drive towards the net. Zacha and Zadorov with the assists. We end up going to overtime with the score tied at 4. The Bruins control early. In fact, they controlled it throughout. And then the puck gets turned over, and at 3 minutes and 10 seconds, Horvat scores on a breakaway. And so the Islanders get this one in Boston. They win 5-4. Boston had a 6-game home winning streak. That is snapped. Islanders go to 15-18-7 with the win, with the overtime loss. Boston 20-17-5, and that cushion above the playoff line is not what it was a few weeks ago. Shots on net, 12-9 Islanders in the first, 17-9 Islanders in the second, 8-7 Boston in the third, 4-1 Boston in the overtime, but the one Islander shot's the one that matters. Final shots, 37-30 for the Islanders. Power plays, the Islanders did not have any. Boston had one, did not score on it. The hits, 31-14 Boston. Sorokin saves 26 out of 30. Korpisalo, 32 saves on 37 shots. All right, next up. Pittsburgh and Carolina. Nedeljkovic versus Tokarski in this one. Early jump for the Canes. The Canes press at 2.5 minutes. Natchez has a rush chance that's saved, and then the puck goes the other way, and Pittsburgh scores. It's Hayes going post and in on a 2-on-1 rush. O'Connor with the assist at 3:47. Penguins press at 4.5 minutes, and at 5:08, Bunting gets one tipped in. It was wires it from the slot. I was thinking from the point. He wired it from the slot, so it's Bunting from Carlson and Rust. It was a good cycle to set that up. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh, and kind of a quiet crowd in Carolina at that point. Kotkaniemi to Natchez. There's a near miss there. The shots on net are actually 5-3 for Carolina with 9 minutes left, so Tokarski allowed 2 goals in the first 3 shots for Pittsburgh. A lot of one and done. Pretty quiet second half mostly. The Penguins press with 4 minutes left. They don't get shots out of it. The Canes press with 2.5 minutes left. They don't get shots out of it, which was the theme in this game. Getting a lot of zone time did not necessarily reflect in a lot of shots on net. 2:02 left. The Canes get a power play. That's killed off. 3 shots on net. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh after the first. Second period, Crosby's denied early. The Penguins press at 2 minutes, and at 4:15, from the slot on a turnover rush, Jarvis scores from Aho, so that makes it 2-1. Penguins look to respond, but the shots are 5-2 Carolina at 7 minutes. We get power play for the Penguins. That's killed off. The Canes press with 9 minutes left, and at 12:45, Chatfield roofs one from the slot on a rush. Aho and Jarvis with the assist there. It's a tie game at 2. Canes then press for the lead. In fact, the shots are 10-4 for Carolina with 5 minutes left. And at 16-18, Jarvis gives them their first lead of the game. It's buried in close. It was a nice pass by Svechnikov to set that up. The other assist to Jordan Staal. So 3-2 Carolina at that point. With 3:10 left, the Penguins get a power play. That becomes a 4-on-4. And so there's a little bit left in a power play for the Canes to start the third, which the Penguins do finish the kill on. Canes press after that's done. The Penguins press. And then Carlson fires one pass to screen. Raquel with the assist at 1:51. So Penguins had some pressure at a minute and a half, and eventually they get that goal. to tie the game at 3. We then get a power play for Carolina. That's killed off. The Penguins press at 5 minutes. The Canes answer with some pressure of their own 8 minutes into the period. More pressure by Carolina at the half. Not that they're getting a lot of shots. In fact, the shots favor the Penguins 6-5 with 6.5 minutes left. With 3:01 left, the Penguins get a power play. It was a delay of game call, so you got to call that. That was killed off. 1 shot on net. We're going to overtime. The Canes control early, and they would score on what was their third shot. That's a rebound where Aho scores from Orlov and Necas. That is point number 600 in the career of Sebastian Aho. So Carolina wins this one 4-3 in overtime. They go to 24-14-2 with the win. With the overtime loss, Pittsburgh 17-17-7. So they like the number 7 in Pittsburgh. Shots on net, 9-5 Carolina in the first, 13-5 Carolina in the second, 9-5 for Pittsburgh in the third. And then Carolina had all 3 shots in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots 30-19 for Carolina. Both teams go 0 for 3 on the power play. Hits 22-17 Pittsburgh. Nedeljkovic saves 26 out of 30. Tokarski saves 16 out of 19. Let's go to the other board. All right, Philadelphia and Toronto. And as you can see, I left 2 columns just in case. I didn't really need the 2 columns, though I did put the stats up there. But hey, let's talk about Philadelphia and Toronto. It's Fedotov versus Hildeby. And when you saw that goaltending matchup, did you think, hey, this could be like an 8-7 game? It was not. Leafs press at 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 24 seconds in. Forster wires one from the distance on a rush. Cates and Ristolainen with the assists. The Leafs then press, and they get it back. Nyes buries a rebound at 4:02 from Matthews and Tanev. That is the 4th goal for Matthew Nyes in roughly 24 hours. Shots are 6-4 for Toronto at 8 minutes. Lawton has a chance that's caught and held. The Leafs press with 8.5 minutes left. Philadelphia presses with 6 minutes left. More pressure by the Flyers with 2.5 minutes left. But at 18:52, Ekman-Larsson buries a rebound in close. Lawrence and Dewar with the assists. So Toronto has its first lead of the game at 2-1. Leafs look for another. It stays 2-1 after the first. Second period, the Leafs press at 2.5 minutes. We get a power play for Toronto. That's killed off. No shots on net. Net feed to Paling. There's a near miss there. Drysdale's denied. Hildeby holds. The shots are 3-1 Philly at 7.5 minutes. The Flyers press at 8.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Flyers. That's killed off. And not long after, a failed clear leads to a goal for Philadelphia to tie it. It's Lawton from Couturier and Ristolainen at 11:08. So 2-2 draw there. Leafs press to respond. There's a press by the Flyers with 5 minutes left. With 3:52 left, the Flyers go back to the power play. That's killed off. Flyers press after it's done. Things are kind of pushy at the horn because Pacioretty delivered a hit that the Flyers didn't like. And so it's 2-2 after 2. Third period. Quiet start to the period. No presses either way. Teams trade rushes. Pacioretty. Oh, this is where the pushing starts. The pushing at the horn was unrelated to Pacioretty. Here it is. Pacioretty, Flat, and Sealer. And things get pushy on the hold Fedotov had after. So these teams not all that big of fans of one another. And they get to play in Philadelphia on Tuesday. So could be a physical game. Pacioretty might have to drop the gloves. Shots are 1 apiece at 4.5 minutes. I don't like it when a guy has to fight after a clean hit, but we've talked about that before. We get a power play for the Flyers. Marner goes beast mode, and that chance was saved by Fedotov. So Marner goes through 4 players, and Fedotov saves it. So that power play for the Flyers, remember, when Marner goes beast mode, that's shorthanded. That power play ends up being killed off. 1 shot for the Flyers, and it was not as dangerous as Marner's chance the other way. Flyers press after that power play's done. The Leafs press with 7.5 minutes left. The shots are 4-3 for Philadelphia with 5.5 minutes left. I thought the Flyers played a very good road game here. Flyers press with 4 minutes left. Benoit then has a final minute chance that's held. We're going to overtime because that's what today's games were about. Flyers control early. The Leafs take over. They set up. There's a blocker save on Ristolainen. Tavares has a chance that's saved. And then at 2:25 on a rush, Morgan Riley ends this. Matthews and Tavares with the assists. It's a 3-2 win in overtime for Toronto. They go to 26-13-2 with the win. With the overtime loss, Philadelphia 17-18-5. Maybe this is the year Toronto wins their division. Like, it's been a long time. Maybe this is the year they do it. Shots on net, 14-13 Philadelphia in the first, 9-5 Philly in the second, 7-5 Philly in the third. Both teams had 2 shots in the overtime. Toronto's the one that matters. Final shots 32-25 Philadelphia. The Flyers go 0 for 3 on the power play. Toronto 0 for 1. The hits 40-31 Toronto. Fedotov saves 23 out of 25. Hildeby saves 30 out of 32. All right, and last up, Tampa Bay and Anaheim. So Johansson versus Gibson. This was a tale of two games. The first period and then the rest of it. So early press by Anaheim. Shots are 3-0 Ducks 3 minutes in. The Ducks press at 4 minutes. And then at 5:24, Terry roofs one from the right circle. Strome and Vetrano with the assists. So it's 1-0. And Tampa Bay doesn't have a shot yet in this one. Ducks draw a power play. That's killed off. The Bolts press at the half. Hedman to Chaffee. There's a near miss there. There's more pressure by Tampa Bay. With 7.5 minutes left, we get a power play for Tampa. That's killed off. No shots on net for Tampa Bay on their power play. What's up with that? And then at 17:03, Vetrano, he of the deferred salary, he scores. It deflects glove side. And Trouba and Terry with the assists on that goal that makes it 2-0 in the first. So Vetrano with a goal and an assist in the first period. And signing a contract seemed to make him play pretty well tonight. Second period. Early press by Tampa. In fact, most of the second period is played in Anaheim's end. Shots are 4-0 Tampa at 3 minutes. Bolts are forechecking well. Asimon has a wraparound chance that's saved. Chaffee has a slot shot that's saved as well. Chernak had a shot blocker to side. Killorn, of course, now playing for the Ducks, no longer a Tampa Bay Lightning member. Should mention that. Killorn has a wrister that's saved. There's a near miss for McTavish, and it felt like maybe the Ducks were improving as this period went along. But we get a power play for Tampa, and they score on it. Gensel buries a one-timer on a nice pass by Kucherov. Not the first time I've said Kucherov with a nice pass this season, and Point had the other assist at 9:12. It's now 2-1 for Anaheim. Bolts press to tie it. In fact, the shots are 11-1 with 9.5 minutes left in favor of the Lightning. Yeah, it was really the tale of two games in this one. Paul with a near miss from the doorstep. The Ducks are just a step behind. Zellweger's then denied from the slot. Terry's robbed on a breakaway. So the Ducks get some opportunities late, but it's just 2-1 after the second period. It is Anaheim leading, though, entering the third. Shots are 3-1 for Tampa Bay at 3 minutes. The Ducks press at 5.5 minutes. Point has a rush chance that deflects wide. Kucherov's denied. Gibson holds there. Chernak has a shot that's blocked as Tampa Bay presses. The Ducks get stuck at one shot for a while here. Tampa presses at 9.5 minutes. They're controlling. In fact, the shots are 7-2 for the Lightning with 7 minutes left. Fabry's then denied on a turnover. Terry has a net drive that's blocked. And then a 2-on-1 rush leads to Jackson Lacombe with a goal. Killorn and Carlson with the assists at 16:26. That's your insurance goal to make it 3-1. They'd pull the goalie with 2:40 left, and the empty netter, it's Vetrano. 2 goals to go with his assist today. Strome with the assist at 18:28. And with this win by the Ducks, a 4-1 win that gives them a 17-18-4 record. That's 200 career wins for Gibson. He now sits 6 behind Jaguar on the all-time wins list for Ducks goaltenders. Tampa Bay 20-15-2. They've lost 4 in a row. Tampa Bay has not scored more than, I think it's not more than a goal in their last 3 games, something like that. They're looking at a losing streak right now that is very un-Tampa-like. Shots on net, 12-5 Anaheim in the first, 18-8 Tampa in the second, 14-6 Tampa in the third. They controlled the last 40 minutes, outshooting the Ducks 32-14, and the final shots are 37-26 for Tampa. Power plays, the Bolts 1 for 2, meaning they did not score 5-on-5. Anaheim just had the one power play. They did not score on it. The hit's 31-26 for the Ducks. Johansson saves 22 out of 25. And Gibson, 36 saves on 37 shots. So there you go. John Gibson played really, really well today. The goaltending for the Ducks has been excellent. And now they're starting to get goals. So the Ducks building their way up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support, as always. I will talk to you again soon.